we missed, can't remember what it was. Was it last week? The last session? I think we'd missed one. So I apologize. We're back on track. So for just joining in, we are here normally on the first and third Thursday of the month at noon. And this is awesome. So whether you are in the business, are you even associate with us, or just like, what the heck are you guys talking about? You know, we love this forum and love helping people and answering questions about anything you want to know land related. So I'm gonna give you a little backstory why people are joining in, and my partner is gonna get on here in a little bit. We are full-time professional land investors who've been doing it now. Oh my gosh, I'm going on 15 years. So Jack's going on 30, I guess. She's definitely more than 25. We have completed almost 16,000 transactions, and I did mean 16000. That's not a typo. And so we have a lot to share. We have a lot of experience, and there's a lot of things we've dealt with, and we want to save you. So that's kind of who we are in a nutshell. We started a company in 2015 called Land Academy, and that was our formal little, like, hey, everybody keeps asking us stuff. Maybe we'll just make a little thing and help and show people, you know, on camera what we do and how we run our business, and that's been awesome. So I know several of you in this room here are part of Land Academy, and I love catching up with you. And even if you're not part of Land Academy, like I said, if you have any question you want to know about this, what the heck are you talking about? So you must buy the land and do something to it, right? And that's how you sell it, make money. And the answer is no, we don't. Basically, we just know how to buy it right. Hello, Jack. How are you?
Good.
You didn't miss
Thanks
anything.
for having me
Your audio
on your
could be
show,
up.
Joe.
It's really low for me. I'm sure Joey will tell us here too.
Thanks for having me on your show. How's that?
You got it. I'm asked to make someone else a moderator, doing it right now. Got it. Thank you. And I'm gonna let my team tell us if our audio needs any stuff here too. But this is it. This is your time. So we started within Land Academy. We have a lot of other little offshoot coaching things that we do, coaching, consulting, training, whatever you want to call it. And one of the things that we do with a couple of our groups is a thing that we call office hours. And that has turned out to be such a fun time. So we decided to turn this into. So this is your time to kind of raise your hand and say, hey, I need help with X. How do you guys handle this? Whatever it is. It's more fun, I think, than me bringing up a topic each week, where you can just kind of pose to us what's on your mind. What are you having trouble with deals? Are you having trouble with deal flow? Are you having trouble getting funding? Are you having trouble picking areas to do this? Are you having trouble even just wrapping your head around this whole concept? So we'd love to answer any of your questions. And like I said, even if you want to bring up specific deals, I think because I know there's some more people that are going to be joining us here. It's a little slow getting built up because like I said, we missed the last 2 weeks, but we're here, and I know our team has reached out to people, so we'll get some more showing up. So don't be afraid to raise your hand. So Jack and I just had a good, oh my gosh, it was funny session recording our podcast for next week. And what was I got to say, we recorded 4 because one of them we already had in the can. So of those 4, Jack, I'm going to tell you my favorite show for next week, and I want you to tell me your favorite show for next week.
Oh, okay? I bet we have the same answer.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
All right. Well, mine was working with your spouse.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
really,
good.
why you shouldn't work with your spouse.
Yeah, that was kind of it.
That's what it should have been called.
At the end, I tried to make a comment so everybody understands, like, look, just like Land Academy, sometimes I think we make it look a little too easy because we're laughing, having fun. Oh, you do not see what goes on off camera where there's they're yelling, there might be tears, dreaming up. I mean, it's all kinds of crazy things happen. So it's kind of like, I think, working with your spouse, we walk around like, oh yeah, everything's great, life's peachy. I don't know, whatever Jack says, that's usually not how it goes. There's more conversations that I say, I don't care what Jack says. This is
Yeah.
what I'm going to do because it's
Well,
on my side of the sheet.
I've long had this theory
Okay.
that any or all arguing starts with talking. So
Oh, thanks.
if you don't talk, there's no arguing.
Oh, great. Thanks. I love it. I love it. Speaking of talking, please, anyone you want to just raise your hand, even if you want to just say hi and gosh, chat about some of the great deals that you're doing. That's fun to do too. So the thing with office hours, like this started with a program that we do called Career Path. It's a 10-week intense thing that's led by us that we do, and we always have a time. It's a focused educational thing, and it's I don't know, 5 hours roughly a week. But before every session, we go into it where it's a whole spreadsheet education mapped out plan. We have these office hours, and often it could go into talking about cars. It could go into talking about all kinds of crazy things. So nothing's nuts. Whatever you want to talk about or questions you want to run by us, we would love to hear from you.
What do
What
you
was
want to
your
talk about, Joe?
what do I want to talk about? I was talking about the
Yeah.
podcast. What's that?
Are you having? Is my audio okay?
It's low for me, so it must be me.
It's really. Okay. I've got everything turned up as loud as it'll go.
Okay, you are good. The team says you're good, so I'm gonna trust. I'm gonna trust the team that it's really good. God, I'm trying to think what's on my mind right now. You know what's on my mind right now? I'm trying to. I'm just got everybody. You know what it is? I have. Melody's gonna save me here too. I have things running smoothly right now that my team seems to work best when they're a little bit pushed. And right now, my team is not pushed. And when I say my team, I'm talking the land side of it.
I agree.
They're kind of standing around waiting a little bit. And I don't like that. I want them to be a little bit like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Oh no, did you guys do this? Did you do that? Did that escrow close? Did that happen? That's our sweet spot. And there's a little bit of a lull right now. So, because it's kind of like waiting for mail to hit, right? And with deal funding, I never know who's going to present stuff and when. So I'm in a little lull. That's what I'm dealing with. But I want to know what Melody's dealing with. How are you, Melody?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. Thank
Good.
you.
I think it was last time on Clubhouse I was sharing that I have a win I'll share real quick or an update, but I closed on a property, a 1 acre property in a subdivision, nice subdivision, but no HOA, which was awesome. And I purchased it for 13,000, went on the MLS for 33, full asking price in less than 24 hours. And so that was a awesome win, and a quick escrow. So yeah, that's exciting.
Can you go back and get more in that area? Did you now go back through your notes and like, you know what, I might make that one work and that one work? And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was my first like subdivision property that I purchased because I've always kind of shied away from them for whatever reason because they have restrictions but yeah, I might go back to that area and relook at some of those subdivision areas because
I would absolutely remail that entire sub now that you
yeah.
the entire sub and maybe spend a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
There was one that you kicked at the curb because he wanted, 17. You might go, you know what, I'll make 17 work.
Yeah,
it's possible.
yeah, the market, and yeah, it's just, yeah, it's great to get those wins, and you kind of stretch yourself a little bit with like, well, I guess I'll try it. I'll try a subdivision lot. I'll try it. So yeah.
So what do you think the retail was if it sold that fast? Do you feel bad about leaving any money on the table?
I don't feel bad about leaving any money on the table because no, I don't. The guy who's buying it, he's getting a great deal. It's a win-win for everyone. So it was a win-win for the guy who sold it to me too. So everyone wins, and that's definitely what I strive for. Wins all around.
That's great.
That's how I feel too, Melody. Like there's times I know that, like Steven's saying, yeah, I could have got more. I'm like, you know what though? That guy's thrilled, and guess what? I got a customer for life too, by the
Mm-hmm.
way. He might come
Yeah.
back and ask for more because that does happen. They might say, what else have you got? Because I know how you roll and you always give me a good deal.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to be. I think it's good like sales karma too.
Yes.
So definitely. So I have another loaded question, but I'm getting a lot of angry callers on this 2,500 mailer I sent out, like a lot more than usual in an area that I know. Um, People just wanting a lot more money for their property. And I know it's kind of a loaded question, but I, my hope is that I could maybe calm some of these people down
Mm-hmm.
and, tell them, can we go back and look at the numbers? There's like, I don't know if you guys have any books that you can recommend on how to calm down some of these angry callers or any tidbits on that, dealing with the love calls.
Exactly. So I'm a little familiar with this. It's so funny too, Melody. It's like in my head, I I make it's kind of a game that I play with myself, but the madder they are when they call me, the more determined I am to befriend them by the end of the
Yeah,
call. And there's just 2 points I gotta get across to them. And they are who I am, how I roll. I didn't set out to piss you off. This is not what I do for my fun. I really don't love just getting these hate calls. That's not what I'm about, kind of thing.
yeah,
So I have to first kind of tell them, kind of look, I'm just a small little company, you know, and sometimes we make mistakes. You know, I'm an investor. I love this area, especially for you. If it's an area that like maybe you're nearby there, like, hey, I grew up there. I vacationed every summer there. I love this area. So I personally know this area too, and I have a love for it, and things like that too will naturally call them down. Well, what do you mean? Like, well, don't you think I don't know Ramona Pie Company too? I spent time there. Oh, really? You do know what you're talking about. So if you have some tidbits like that, that will catch them off guard a little bit, and they don't think of you as some who knows who in New York City, going after them kind of thing. They're like, okay,
yeah,
you're a real person.
yeah,
So when we get that a point across, and that for me calms them down. And then the second thing is like, look, your time's important, mine time's important. This is just getting a number out of them. So like, whatever it is, we're past all that. I'm a good person. What I'm trying to do. Do you even want to sell? Well, yeah, but like I said, your price is insane. We got that. All right. So then, and remember, I'm just me. It's me and my partner, me and my husband, me, whatever it is. And I'm just starting out, or I'm not, whatever. I just need to know what's the number that makes sense to you. The point you're trying to make is I'm not retail. I'm not an agent. I'm not a builder. I'm not, you know, KB Homes, whatever, I'm going to build this thing. Like, I'm just looking for property, and that's what I do. And then you say, and whatever the number is, please keep in mind, this is how I buy it. You know how I roll, kind of. It might be kind
yeah,
of low, but and the point is, the reason we're doing this is I'm here. It's just you and me. I'm not paying an agent. You're not going to lose out on the commission. I'm going to make this so fast and easy. I've got a great title company in the area, or if you got someone you like, I'll use them. Whatever you say, we're going to make this easy and the best transaction you've ever had. And then I let them come back with that number.
This is what I say.
I'm ready to
Oh,
buy from you right now, Jill. Where do I
thank you.
sign?
Exactly. Thank you. Love it.
I
Where can I
choose a shorter
sign?
approach.
You choose a
What I
what
think
approach?
a shorter.
Okay, go for it.
I think you should say some version of this. I clearly mispriced this mailer, or I clearly mispriced this offer to you, and I did not mean any disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a number that works for you, please let me know, and I'll see if I can make it work. And it can be as simple as that.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, talking to them, Stephen, it does make a little bit of a difference.
Oh, I
Here's
don't.
what the thing is.
That's why I do the mailers and you talk to the people.
That's why we don't let Jack answer the phone anymore. Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, there's some other ways Jack used to do it too, but that were kind of funny. But the nice thing too, Melody, is that you and I have going. Are you answering your phones or using Pat Live or something?
I'm answering the phones,
Okay.
but I feel like I can handle it. I'm kind of coming to the point where I'm looking into Pat Live, especially for the summer and
Yeah.
vacations and stuff. So I think this summer I might need to do something because I'm not going to be as available. But
Good call.
yeah,
I like that. But at least now you know. And I always like when we send out mailers to a new area, I kind of really want to pay attention to what's going on in the area because you learn so much those first wave of calls. You know, what's going on, how smart are these people?
talking to
I mean, yeah, maybe there's something I missed. Like, oh, I didn't know that this new thing is being built over here. Wow, that's good information. This is going to change how I look at these deals. You know, whatever it is, fill in the blank.
The fact
But
that you're getting so much hate on this mailer is, there's a
that's
takeaway
good.
from that too. I think maybe send out another mailer at a higher percentage at the same area,
yeah.
and see. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I still say Melody and I, girls, we have that little advantage. And at the end of the day, Melody, I'm sure you've already got this. It's hard to keep screaming at a woman that's really nice, keep smiling and saying they're sorry. You know?
I have a lot to say about that.
Oh, really? That's
None of which I'm
funny.
going to say at all.
Exactly. So, and you're just going to get better and better. I even follow up with emails too. Sometimes you get those hate emails. If there's a hint of you didn't say no, then I email them back with a quick little, hey, here's who I am. And I do say, like Jack says, I'll say, I didn't mean to offend you. It's not what I'm doing here, and I may have goofed. I kind of don't say I did for sure. I kind of like to say may. And then, it kind of leaves it like, okay, what can you say? And then if they really, all they want to do is rant, you already know this, I'm sure that, you're like, I'm not getting anything out of this guy. And then you just kind of cut it off, let him go, move on to the next guy.
So, what percentage do you convert? Do you think?
To get a number out of him,
Yeah.
more than 80%,
And then how many
probably
properties do you
higher,
think you buy?
probably even higher. Because it's, you know what, it's not that hard. It's probably more than 90% that I at least get a number out of them. Because how it really goes is they either don't want to ever sell and they're tired of these letters, and I get that. And so there's nothing to talk about there. They all say they're going to be buried there or whatever it is. It's been in my family for 5 generations and it will be for 5 more. I get that. That's fine. I wish you all the best. And then of the other ones, I kind of don't let them go. That's my thing. So it's probably more than 90 because I try to stay on them until I get a number. Even if it's a crazy number. I said, just give me a number because everybody has a number. Come on, like we all have a number right now in our head, no matter how much you love your home, no matter how much you personally, handpicked the paint color or fill in the blank. You're like, but yeah, if someone came along and offered me X, you better believe I'd move and I'd do it over here and I'd do it in twice as big a house kind of thing. So we kind of know. So hopefully their number's not a make me move number. And that's what you just need to find out too. So they'll give you a number and it's either going to be somewhere that you can work with, like Melody's buy for 13, sell for 33. Maybe the number's 20. And then Melody's going to go back and sit and look at it and go, can I make 20 work? Let me think about this one. Because my original offer was 10. Maybe it was 10. And they countered at 20. And Melody's like, all right, let me just say, oh, wow.
That's
This
100% increase,
lot,
by the way.
What's that?
That's 100% increase.
Yeah, but maybe it's waterfront, and it's got this, this, and this, and I wouldn't have known this from the data. I would have not been able to spot that ahead of time. So maybe it had something on it. Maybe it has something on it that wasn't accounted for. I don't know. So that's why I just get some number out of them. And then I get to go back and see if I can make that work. And then you know what's great about that too, Melody? So I've sent it for 10. They throw out 20. I'm going back to look at it, see if I can make 20 work. What if I can't? But you know what? And by the way, now we're all warmed up. Now I'm going to say, something like 17. I can't do 20, but I agree with you. It's worth more than the 10. I can really make 17 work. So, and that's my highest and best. So if that works for you, great. Awesome. Otherwise, if it doesn't, I get it. Please hang on to my letter. And if anything changes, please let me know. That's what I do. So I do have the headphones on and my volume up. Thank you very much. For some reason, I'm sorry, Steven, your audio is so flipping low. I'm going to try to turn it up even higher. What do you want to add?
I don't have anything to add on this topic. It's kind of on your side of the sheet.
Got it.
I just think that, silence is the problem. So if she's getting a lot of hate, I just think it's a great time to practice conversion. I love that it's 80, 90%. If you can get a number out of 80 or 90%, that's going to convert to deals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The hard part, it's a funny thing. The hardest part is, so I get a number out of them, right? I'm all excited because I'm usually not looking at the property at that. It's half and half. Sometimes I'm at my desk. Sometimes I'm not at my desk. I might be out. It might be Saturday afternoon. I got to take the call. So I take the call. I get all the information. I get a number out of them. And then I go back and I look at it. And I'm like, darn it. Not only do I not like it at their number, I still hate it at my original number. Because sometimes that happens. You're like, darn it, I said 10. I got 20 out of them. I don't think I'd give them 5. You know what I'm saying? And that happens to us on the Thursday call. Once in a while, you Land Academy members, and you see it when like with Lori and Brandon and I too. I'm like, now I'm down at 2,000. Now my number's 2 based on what I'm seeing. It's good. Please feel free. Anybody want to jump in, ask a question, join the conversation, chat about anything. I see a lot of familiar faces in here, and it's awesome. I'm glad that you guys are with us today. Sorry, we had a little inconsistency in our clubhouse schedule, and we are back on track. Right, Jack?
Yeah.
Good. What do you want to talk about? What's on your plate today?
I just decided that I'm taking tomorrow off completely.
Really?
Entirely and completely. Yep. For the first time in a really long time.
Wow. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Things are going really well. It's going to be a really good revenue year for us.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. What do you think? What do you attribute that to?
I'm thinking. I attribute it honestly to you.
Oh.
I just think you're doing a lot more deals we're doing a lot more deals than we usually do, and we're sending out. I don't feel like we're sending out, an extraordinary amount of mail, more mail than we usually do. So I don't know. What do you think? It's a sign of the times, maybe.
Yep. I love it. I think so. I don't think, it's interesting. I know a lot of people in our world that are still running out of inventory. I'm curious if anybody else is going on. Like, right, that's, I think that's part of it. Like in Melody's numbers is a perfect example. Bought for 13, sold for 33 in 24 hours. It's like, darn it. Like, I mean, it's great, but shoot, I got to go buy more. I need to make this even go faster now because there's so much activity out there.
Every time a deal like that happens, I just multiply times 12. Like, can I do this every month? I'm sure you can do one deal like that every month really easily. So, that's almost $250,000. That's good. That's good. That's, you can live on that.
Exactly. So anyone else, give us your numbers. You want to talk about numbers that you're doing? Again, anything on your mind? I don't want to make this a real short show today, but I could make it a real short show today if no one has something to talk about, because you know where to go find us and hear us talk endlessly. And I do mean endlessly. Who did we talk to? We interviewed somebody, Chung.
Nathan Chung.
What's his first name?
Nathan.
That's it. So we did a podcast. We recorded it yesterday. It's going to air in a couple weeks with current Career Path member Nathan Chung. And he was talking about finding us in 2019 and going back to the beginning of time of Land Academy time and catching up on the old podcasts and then going forward. I'm like, holy moly, that's a lot.
That's some serious commitment.
Mm-hmm. It was really, really good. Yep. And he was very sweet. He was really nice to say, this is I'll tell you right now too, as far as career path goes, we're going to go back to the Wednesday schedule. It's going to come back in October. It'll be back in the fall. This one ends this month, by the way. So we did a Saturday session, and he was really, really appreciative because with his life, he's a full-time pharmacist, as is his wife. Their kids are 2 and 4, and the guy made, he's making like $150,000. Was it so far this year? I think so.
Oh no, he made $150,000 on his most recent deal.
There we go.
So no, he said he will approach $500,000.
Yeah. And this is what so if you can listen, it's a great podcast if you're thinking, how the heck can I do this? I'm still working. And he's young too. You know, he's like, I just do it. I was never that guy, but yeah, I get up at 5 now and it's paying off.
You know what's interesting about that interview with him? This is his first entrepreneurial experience. Most of the people in Land Academy have had some type of experience either running someone else's business or their own business and then selling it or whatever. And so he had a different perspective. He said he had to spend a lot of time teaching himself to get up early in the morning before work and all of that. So I think it's twice as hard.
I agree. I totally agree with you there. All right, I'm going to give this a few more minutes, and if no one else raises their hand, I'm gonna guess that you guys don't have anything you want to ask us or talk about, because again, you guys know where to go. Just listen to us if you want to just listen to us banter, like we'll probably do in a minute here in the kitchen over lunch, right? Okay. Thank you, Ellis. Ellis is like, I'm coming up there. All right, Ellis, get in here. How are you?
I'm good, and I apologize if I am repetitive with the question because I just jumped in, but I figured I would just take a risk and ask the question anyway.
Do it. Thanks.
Yeah, so if we are changing in this real estate cycle and it's starting to shift a little bit, how does that affect that sector of what you do in the land acquisition and resale? I mean, I realize that a lot of this business it's basically a spread business. So as long as you're buying it for less than what you could sell it for, it's still profitable. But are there any changes or adjustments that you make in your strategy and operations as markets shift a little bit?
Yeah, the main thing that I change is I don't change how much mail we send out pretty much ever, but I will change how I price it. And so I don't see that this shift is going to be anything like 2010. I see it kind of just planing out or planing off. And the way that satellite internet is becoming available, rural markets are going to be even more attractive. So I don't think that we're going to see, as land people, the shift that the housing people are going to see. But I do price it, I typically price it around 35% and maybe higher in markets where I know for sure I can get more money or sell it quickly. I'll price it higher, but I will go back to, if the downturn is significant, and I don't think it will be, I'll go back down to 25%. And then our prices, the sale prices will go down a little bit too. So that The number of deals really doesn't change for us, but we buy it for less and sell it for less, usually in times that are a little bit slower, let's call it.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Do you find that uh, a great number of your buyers are people that are looking to escape kind of the urban uh, centers and then kind of buy and build out in kind of a more or a less dense environment? Is that usually the typical person that's buying land?
I mean, I'll answer this first, but Joe, I'd like to have your answer on it too, because you're closer to the buyers than I am. I don't see any consistency uh, with a buyer type at all. It's well, do you see any consistency, Joe? You're closer to it than I am.
No. If if anything, it's I'm selling more stuff that's out there. I am having more luck selling rural vacant land than I ever had. People are like, I do not want to have anything to do with that city over there anymore. I want to be out here on my 5 acres. No one's going to bug me, fill in the blank. And I'm working from home anyway. And the other thing is, we've solved so many things. Now it's getting easier as we go on as solving, water, power, fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I know you watch really heavily, Jack, is satellites and having, good access to the internet while you're somewhere else.
Yeah,
That's
what we have
less
going for
leads.
us right now is a tremendous amount of home equity. I think I just read this. The average person in this country has $100,000 of home equity. That's never happened before. It's the first time it's ever gone to over 6 digits. So
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of extra money, or or credit available to them to spend to buy a piece of land.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. These are really, really good questions.
So, if I may ask, I'm not as familiar with all the different changes with technology, but I mean, I agree that I mean it's just phenomenal what we can do with the power grid now. With you can use solar, etc. But as far as internet goes, so last time I remember looking into satellite, I know that you can get tremendous download capability, but the upload was still kind of behind the times because you couldn't use satellite. Has that been addressed yet, or has that been solved?
So if you just Google Starlink, and you can, we can't see the screen here, but it gets better every minute. The uplink and downlink speeds, and they just released a 500 MIP product. I think it's 500, which is extraordinary. Does it work perfectly? Of course not, because it's satellite and it's subject to weather and all kinds of stuff. But it's way, way, way better than it has been. And they release constant press releases on product updates and things. So if it's not great now, it is great now, but it's just going to constantly get better.
Totally agree.
Anything's better than cell phone, the cell
Yeah,
service in a rural
that's
area.
really exciting. I mean, I just can imagine just the mobility that people can have and create the lifestyle they want. So this makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I feel like for a long time, people looked at us like nutty, like you're what people, you're land people. Who wants to be way out there, right? That was the thing. Who's gonna be way out there? They must be weirdos, whatever it is. Not anymore.
Yeah,
That has there's a whole mind shift. Like no, and remember too. Remember everybody thought the biggest house was the best. Not necessarily. Think of the people that are downsizing, especially the whole tiny home movement. We all know that's a really big deal. We've all shifted and it's awesome. Now I'm not so crazy. People are like, well, wow, how much land do you have? It's cool.
This is just amazing to me because it wasn't too long ago when the whole discussion was, oh, people are going to move back to the urban centers and all this stuff, and I never really bought it because I used to
Mm-hmm.
live, in places where, oh my God, you got to fight for parking, all this other stuff. I was like, this is no way to live. But there was there were arguments about how, oh, you have access to all these the whole mixed use, movement and all that. And now it's completely reversed. It's just amazing.
Isn't that great? Yep. I love it. I see people that are the first time land buyers all the time, and they're getting younger. It's not your dad's piece of property. Hey, there's a podcast topic for you, Steven.
Yeah. I think there's this younger generation too is very into outdoor stuff like overlanding and hiking and
Yeah.
you know, more than I think maybe our generation was.
Have there been any technology shifts as far as water? And, I mean, because that's a big deal, right? I don't know if it's kind of just the old school. You have to, get access to a well, or but have there been any shifts in or developments in providing water?
So I read a long time ago, and it always stuck with me, that rainwater collection off of a single family roof, an average single family home roof in most places, certainly not here in the Southwest, if you have the right collection device, that's sustainable. In a year, you will accumulate enough rainwater from your own roof to sustain you for the next year. And so I'm not sure if there's any validity to that, but I've read it. Water delivery is becoming more and more of a thing. Here, it's been a thing in the Southwest for as long as I can remember, but it's very feasible to get water delivered at a very reasonable rate. People do it with propane all the time in rural areas, so it's just one more phone call to make.
When you know, you see them sometimes. You don't realize what you're looking at until you're like, that's a big water thing in the back of that guy's pickup truck. It's funny, you see people driving around with their own water sometimes too, taking it wherever they need to go.
I'm water crazy. I have a water distiller. I drive Jill nuts with this stuff. I have a water distiller that's the size of a water heater, and we distill all of our own water. So, I pay attention to all of this all the time. But it's I think where there's a will, there's a way kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Hey, I'm going to answer Megan's question here. She was asking me how I address a seller where I offered too much money and I need to drop the bomb on him, basically let him know without making him mad. So the first thing I do, Megan, is I don't do it on that first phone call. So if the call comes in and I'm looking at it and I offered 10 and I realize it's probably worth 2, I don't let them know right then. I get all the information like I normally would, because even though I've got Neighbor Scoop open, I'm looking at the property, I'm looking at Google Earth, I'm checking all this stuff out. I don't let them know yet what I've spotted. So what I'll do is I'll take all the stuff just like normal, and I'll tell them, okay, maybe it's 2 hours I want to look at this, or usually it's the next day. I'll say, can I have a day? Let me do my homework, make some calls here, check everything out, and then I'll get back to you. Where is this the best number? What time tomorrow? All that good stuff. Hang up, and I might do nothing at this point. But so I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. But say I still like the property, but it's not the price. I got to talk them down on the price. So 1 second. Sorry. So I'll let them think I'm spending a whole day doing all my homework, right? But I didn't really spend that much. I already know the answer. So I'll call them back tomorrow at that time. And that's how I'll start the conversation. Like, all right, I have spent nothing but time. This whole time I've been doing nothing but looking at your property and trying to figure out, how I came up with this offer and how I'm going to make this work. So they think like, oh, wow, 24 hours. That's all she's been doing, which it hasn't, but I let them think that. So that's number one. And I'm kind of preparing and going, and I drop a little nugget, like trying to figure out how I'm going to make this price work. That automatically sets the stage right there too. Sometimes they know, by the way, also like they're excited because they know you kind of offered, they've never got an offer this big and they're all excited. And you're gonna have to tell them like, yeah, shucks, I goofed. So I come back with something, and there's a reason why. There's a reason why you're not standing by your offer. Like I looked again and I did not realize I priced this too high. It's just nothing in the area is really selling like that. And I'm sorry, I goofed. Maybe it's that. Maybe there's something about it. Maybe, you spotted something maybe I thought it was closer to X. So I try to give them at least 2 reasons. They don't need 40, but give them a couple of reasons why. Darn it, I goofed, and I know I said 10, but it's actually really only worth 3, and I feel horrible. Again, I've spent all day on this, but that's the best I can do. And
Yeah,
if
pick
that
one of the
works for you,
6As. Exactly.
if that works for you, great. I will open escrow within the hour. I have a great gal, and she is standing by, and I'll make this so fast and easy. It's not even funny. But if it doesn't work, I understand. Please hang on to this, and if anything changes, for the next, I can, give you if you reach back to me in at least 30 days, I can scrape that up together, and I can still give you the 3, whatever it is. So that's how I handle that. Now the other scenario is this. Now this one I do get off the phone right away. This is a different situation. Sometimes they call you back. You offered 10. You're looking at it. You're on Neighbor Scoop, and right now you already know, oh, there's just no way. There's no access. I may even be talking to the wrong guy. That's an easy one. But let's just say you got the right guy, and it's just really a property. You're like, darn it, it's not this is not gonna work. I just pulled up this subdivision. There are 800 for sale in this exact subdivision, and they're retail selling for more than I offered. How about that? Megan, you're like, there's no way I'm going to buy this. Even the guy tries to give it to me, I don't want it. So that one, don't waste anybody's time. Right there, you're going to say, oh boy, I hate to tell you this, but I kind of goofed, and this doesn't meet my acquisition criteria. I'm sorry. I don't mean to waste your time, and I wish you all the best. Just get them off the phone, because that happens. What's really funny is this happens to me right now today, because I have offers from properties that were sent out more than 10 years ago. And you better believe our prices have changed, and our acquisition criteria has changed, and things that we do. And that's how I would love it that we always have a date on our mailers, right? You do that too. So when people call back 10 years later now, they're kind of already know. They're like, first, they're so excited that you're still in business and existing, and you answer the phone. So that's like, yay. You're like, and they'll usually come at you like, I don't know if this is you're still interested in this, but I've got this property, and I've got a few subdivisions mentally in my head. Like one is Deming Ranchettes, that if these sweet people, once upon a time, I was buying and selling those, but not now. And I have to tell them very nicely, I'm very sorry, but it's not something I'm not working in that area anymore, kind of thing. And I just wish you all the best. You want to
Those
add,
are
Jack?
real sellers too. When they call back after 2 or 3 years, they're going to sell you the property. And my experience has been that it's because somebody passed away, and then they put your offer in a file when they were still alive, and the kids are going through the estate, and they find the offer.
Right.
And they say, this is just one of the things we're trying to settle in the estate.
Mm-hmm.
Real sellers, the longer back they go.
Exactly. So hopefully that helps you, Megan. And you'll get better. Can I just point out the obvious here? Look how great our community is right now. Look how many successful female investors are speaking up on this call and who are killing it here. Just have to throw that out there. And by the way, Melanie and Megan, I'm bringing back Land Academy Ladies. So I dropped a little note in Discord. So watch for that. I'll have an email going out so we can get everybody, loop them back in, and then we'll get a schedule going, and you'll get Zoom invites, and we'll get you on there. So it's going to be awesome. Yay. Do you have anything else you want to add, Jack, before I wrap this up today?
No, nice work.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, good. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us. We are back on track. So the first and the third Thursday at noon Pacific time, you can find us here on Clubhouse. Land Academy people, you know where to find us. If you and for Land Academy people who are here right now, in an hour and 15 minutes, you will be seeing us and talking to us and interacting with us and sending us your questions and and deals to look at and all that great stuff on Zoom within our community. And that's happening at 2:00 today. If you're not in Land Academy and you want to jump on this call today, you are welcome to join us. If you want to have a one-time invite, we'd love to have you. Just send an email to support@landacademy.com, and my team will reply back with you and get you the Zoom link so you can join in on the call if you want to learn more about this and see the deals and hear more about our community and everything that we've got going on. Please feel free to jump on this call today because it's phenomenal. I'll tell you too, it lasts minimum of an hour, sometimes two, because Jack and I, we want to make sure we really help everybody and address all your questions, and we love it. We've been doing this Thursday call now for years. Has it been 6 years?
7 or 8 years.
7 years, yeah. I'm losing track. So that's where we will be. Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Jill.
I love Clubhouse. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, my team. And thank you, Melody and Megan and Ellis, for jumping in and asking questions today. And I will see some of you in an hour and 13 minutes. Otherwise, we'll be back here in a couple weeks.